friends. Welcome back to FloCheer Radio, our 30-minute podcast where we talk about anything, everything, all-star cheer and dance. I'm Jessica Baker.
I am Megan Motley.
And I'm Emily Schmidt. Glad to finally be back, guys.
Yay! Coming off a big weekend. If you haven't heard, the show is all about NCA All-Star and a couple of other things, obviously, but
we have so much to talk about with NCA. That was honestly so much fun. I feel like I wait all year for NCA and Worlds. Mm-hmm. And it was incredible.
Almost like a mini Worlds.
Yeah.
A little preview of what we're going to see.
Oh, yeah. It was great. And it's the biggest cheerleading competition in the world. Huge.
It was a record year.
Yeah, it was a record year.
So that was really exciting. 1,300 teams came, 9 countries. It was built up for big expectations, and it lived up to every single one of them.
For sure.
At least for me, it did.
I couldn't agree more.
It was really exciting because I feel like this was one of the first competitions where we saw a lot of teams starting to hit zero consistently. Lots of teams did, hit 0 day 1 or day 2, but even more than in the previous competition so far this season, they were hitting 0 day 1 and day 2. It's my favorite kind of cheerleading.
I agree. And a lot of teams that didn't hit on day 1 then went on to hit on day 2, which was neat to see too.
Yep, it's a big one. We have a lot to talk about for NCA stuff, but
before we
get into it,
in honor of NCA, I have 3 things that I'm obsessed with, all that happened this past weekend. First,
rightly so.
Of course. The first thing that I am obsessed with, one of the best moments of the weekend, I was sitting with Megan as it was happening, and we were melting. Yes. During the Cheer Abilities Division, the awards session, there was a boy on Northeastern Storm Shooting Stars that when he accepted his award, he let Justin Carrier know that it was his sister's birthday. Justin let everyone know.
I will admit this, I was sitting right in front of the mat and I was crying because
I wasn't going to throw you under the bus.
No, I'm not afraid to admit that. It was honestly one of the most moving things because here, you are on that stage, and to succeed on that level and get that iconic megaphone trophy, it's a universal feeling, and for them to have that opportunity at NCA was incredible. And
for him to share it with his sister, that was the best part.
So sweet.
That not only was he like, yeah, my team won, he let Justin know that it was his sister's birthday.
And watching him all weekend, he was on the side of the mat. You know how they can sit on the side of the mat?
He was cheering the entire time.
Oh, giving teams high fives, was so excited, and really, I caught myself sometimes watching his reaction to teams instead of the routines. It was so much fun.
Well, speaking of those high fives, that brings me to the second thing that I am obsessed with. I think that this moment really spoke a lot for a team that I, of course, really like, the World Cup Shooting Stars. I'm going to call them out, they didn't have their best performance on day 1, and instead of leaving the mat, they stayed behind to root on their new friends, the other shooting stars, and made this tunnel for them and watch their performance. And I just think that was a huge moment of the weekend.
It was.
And, I got to see later during awards, I think I was sitting right in front of World Cup. They stood up when Northeastern Storm Shooting Stars were announced, and it was so cool. They kind of had a little bond going. One of the most touching moments of the weekend by far.
Very cool.
Agreed.
And speaking of touching, another touching moment was seeing ECE Bombshells bring home their very first NCAA title in the medium senior division. They are the reigning world champions, and if they continue to perform the way that they performed last weekend, we could definitely see a repeat from them.
Very cool.
Which I think we will talk about a little later.
Yeah.
A little more, but really cool moment. I'm really happy for them.
I love seeing award ceremonies on the NCA stage. It's so great.
The confetti.
The confetti cannons.
Oh my gosh.
Shoot up the confetti everywhere.
That arena is like no other. When they revealed that this year, it's equally exciting every year, but I was watching the award ceremony, and just the graphics and everything, I forget who I was sitting with. I was like, I feel like we're at the Emmys.
I know. There was smoke coming out. The team's graphics were on as they were coming out. There was smoke.
And then all of the graphics this year was this beautiful liquid gold, and I was just like, I was like, wow.
Yeah. Stepped their
really
game up.
doing it.
I'm sure it's the same people who do cheerleading competitions
Honestly,
and the Emmys.
it probably is. What, last year it was Lady Gaga's Lights. So honestly, it was
crossover there.
It was the best production, and that event was like so beautiful. And
I don't think
so
we see
well
enough
put together.
confetti at the Emmys, really. So if they want to give NCA a call, I'm sure that they can probably hook them up.
I'm sure there's a lot of teams that can
are so underutilized.
donate their confetti.
Across the world.
Just in daily life.
Oh, it was awesome.
cannons.
It was so exciting. Honestly, every award ceremony was just like,
All the good stuff.
yep.
I
It was
love
great.
it.
Well, so the arena was revealed, but let's talk about where the arena was revealed and that whole night, because that was awesome.
Yes. Are you talking about Battle in the Arena?
Oh yeah.
Were you there?
Well, no, I actually wasn't. I was watching the live stream. But the live stream was great.
Cool. I got chills as it kicked off. It was really cool as it all began, all the production and everything. It was so special for all the athletes that participated.
I didn't know what to expect, and
I don't think anyone did, which made it even better.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
No
I think we've got some.
Yeah, that arena was packed from what I hear. I wasn't there, but
it was cool because I felt like all the athletes kind of had a moment to almost feel like celebrities in a way.
Right.
As everyone was cheering them on. It's not like they were cheering on an entire team. They were just cheering that individual athlete on, which was really cool.
Yep, and varsity did a really good job of putting this on.
I
Like they spent
loved how
so
they did
much
it.
time putting it together.
Yeah.
They had really cool awards for the kids that came into it, and they made it just an excellent experience. Like the trophies that they had for the kids. They had like the Crystal Swarovski Varsity Ascent shoe for the guys who won, the guys and gals. And then they had that little star, like a full crystal trophy that they gave.
it was so great. And I loved what they did. They had like everybody kind of line up in this little formation and they like introduced themselves and just the way that they kind of did all the passes. Then you moved on to finals. You did one last pass. Like everything about it was really like you could tell there was a lot of thought put into it, and it was awesome.
And it was cool. They stepped off and they did interviews. If you didn't get to see the show, they did stream it live. Varsity did, but the kids finished and they did a little interview. After each division, there was like a junior, a senior female, and a senior male.
Yes.
And then they picked the 3 top in each one and had them tumble again. And then in the very end, they presented them with their awards. So
it was awesome. I hope they do that again. That was a really, really fun way to kick off. Like they revealed the arena, then they did that, and it was just such a fun way to kick off the NCAA weekend.
And it was cool how it all started too, with those athletes having to qualify months ago.
Yeah.
And it really was the best of the best, and it showed. There were some that junior division blew me away.
What was it? The winner, he did a front full punch front. I can't
Parker, Parker. I'm not sure how to say his last name. Parker Bob. I think that's right.
I don't know how to say it.
He was great.
He's on Spirit of Texas though, and he is going to be on royalty one day, and
absolutely. He was so talented and
much
so
talent.
clean too.
The junior division was actually really fun to watch, and the little girl, there was a little bitty.
She was
chick
8
in
years
there.
old, right?
She was great. She was great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she did a little.
And the
tumble
best
back
part,
pass.
her little interview, they were like, "So, tell us about your pass," and she was like, "It was easy," and I'm like, "Girl."
Didn't look it.
I
was trying it.
Goals.
She made it look easy.
Yeah.
She did.
And the senior female was Kendall Hahn, and then the senior male was Miguel Morales. I don't know if I'm saying that right either. I'm sorry. But so shout out to those guys.
Yes.
The first ever time that they hosted Battle in the Arena, and definitely not the last.
Yep.
That was awesome.
From what I think, in my opinion. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Great stuff.
And more NCAA history that was made, I guess. The first ever divisions for extra small. Yes.
That was really fun. I feel like extra small teams have to be really creative about how they put together their routine, their stunt sequences, and all in all, it was really like I stayed down and watched a lot more of extra small than I thought I was planning on, because I was like, wow, this is really good. And so that was a lot of fun to watch. So
it's a little Worlds preview too, because we haven't seen that many extra small teams all come together. Like we've seen a few at each competition, but obviously this one's the biggest. So
you know who I was really impressed by? So Cheerville Anarchy. They were really, really good, and they had more stunts in the air. They were super clean. They had a really great day 1. Unfortunately, their day 2 wasn't as good, so they did end up getting second. But I'm like, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with, because when they hit, it's really, really good. But, you know, you got to give it to SEV, because they were consistent. They also looked really good, and they got first, and that was a well-deserved win for them.
I wasn't surprised to hear their name announced as first, because they have such strong summit teams and their lower level teams. So I'm sure that they now bred those athletes to come up and
and which is really funny that you say that, because this is their first win as a program in level 5 at NCA. So it's like that really speaks to the strength of that program as a whole, like you said, growing up into that. So
and that's a big moment. Like that's such
huge.
a big deal. So I'm so thankful for this extra small division for people who don't have all those, you know, enough people to form these teams, but they have the people that have the skills that can absolutely compete in level 5.
And that's what I was saying too. I was like, it's so entertaining to watch this and how they have to put together a routine with those number of athletes on the mat. It actually is,
especially
really
the pyramid section.
Yes,
So
fun,
really creative,
super impressive, and got to give a shout out to San Antonio All Stars Team Smoke. They hit 0 on both days and looked really good as well. And so, you know, they took home 3rd, but you know, don't sleep. You can't sleep on anybody. It's all about peaking at the right time and hitting it, which they did. So good for them, and congrats. So yeah, extra small all girl. That was also a lot of fun. Cheer Express Miss Silver, we saw them at Cheer Sport. So they won Cheer Sport, and then they brought that momentum to NCA All-Star. Looked really great as well. So they got first place, followed by CJA Bombshells and Green Bay Elite Lime. Who
we saw them at WSF too.
Yeah. So it's been really fun to kind of follow these teams and see this season start shaping up for that division.
I was really happy to see Miss Silver on top, because last year, I believe, is their first year that they even went to NCA. And, you know, the arena can be intimidating.
Oh,
they had never been to...
It can be?
I'm like, it is. I was sitting on the side, and I was intimidated.
I remember seeing them, and, you know, it just wasn't their day. But to see them come back the second year, and I think that this division is the right fit for them, and they are going to really impress us at Worlds. I'm excited to see them again.
Yep, they looked really good. So yeah, let's talk about small.
One of the biggest divisions of the weekend.
Yes, always.
Always a battle in small.
Guys, I really love small senior co-ed, and I know I'm not alone in that thought. But small senior co-ed, the most impressive thing is, at the end of the day, or you know, by the end of day 2, there was a first, second, and there was a tie for 3rd. All 4 of those teams hit 0 both days.
Oh wow!
Wow,
super impressive. So Diamonds took the win, but you know, I don't know if y'all noticed, but in their little HEART, they only had 4 stunts in the air this time, and so I asked a little birdie for the scoop, and I guess they had an injury, and they'll be back to 5 stunt groups at the next competition, which I believe is UCA.
Hopefully.
I think they're heading to UCA. I'm 90% sure.
Oh.
So they should be back to 5, which that just says, you know, they're continuing to execute really well. Continuing to hit, and you know, of course, that's going to help their execution score when they have 5 stunts in the air. So,
well, I think it's so impressive to win NCA after having an injury at the last moment.
Right?
It must have happened within a week.
Yeah,
it's just so hard as a coach or choreographer moving all those puzzle pieces. So, huge kudos to them. In a few days to be able to do that and then come out on top in the largest division.
And they're back-to-back champs. I swear, after I saw them win at NCA, I was like, Diamonds are making moves, and they're coming up in that small co-ed division, and I really think they're going to stick around and be one to be reckoned with for like years to come. So they looked great, and just kind of made me happy to see them on top again. So second place was Prodigy Midnight, and tied for third was Florida Top Dog Rain and Woodlands Recon. And those teams were it was all neck and neck. Like that division is tight. So, man.
Can't wait to see what happens next weekend.
UCA All-Star is going to be awesome, because I want to say like a big chunk of them, if not all of them, are going to be there. So there you go, another small co-ed nugget to chew on.
Oh, it's going to be a good event.
Yeah.
Small but big news.
So, small senior all-girl. I know you were so happy.
Yeah.
SSX choreography is awesome.
said it since the first time I saw it.
I know.
It's so good. I wasn't even
I
surprised
literally
to see
thought
them come out
about
on
you.
top.
I literally thought about you after day one when they looked so good. I was like, Emily's just thriving right
Happy
now.
to see them. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
No.
I think that their routine is amazing this year, so they deserve it.
Yep. So they actually ended up hitting 0 day 2, which is really exciting for them. That's always a great feeling. And they were followed by Woodlands Late Generals, who came out and unfortunately didn't have a great day 1. But I was really encouraged to see how they responded day 2. Super strong 0. And looked really, really good. So, you know, I think that's all you can ask for. When you don't have a great day 1, to come back and respond like that was really great. And then they were followed by Ice Lady Lightning, reigning world champs. They continue to look better and better every time we see them.
I only actually got to watch, like physically watch their day 1 performance live, and I was blown away. They looked really good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they might have switched it around, but the worm stayed in.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, ooh, now I could do that if I was on their team. Being in the front. I'm good at the worm.
Or?
It's
I've
natural
never
talent.
been able to do the worm.
I can go from a handstand, but I can only go backwards. I can't go forward.
I don't know if you should have
There
told
is a
us
forward
because
worm.
Yeah, some people can go forwards. I can only go back.
I can't wait to see footage.
None of the above.
What does Lindsay say? Picks where it didn't happen?
Oh,
I don't know.
receipts. Receipts. Oh my gosh. I'm going to film her doing it. I'm going to put it in the podcast.
Oh, good.
Are you
Do
ready?
it.
Look,
Yeah, I'm
she's-
confident in
She
it.
said this 'cause
Ice
she's
Lady
ready.
Lightning alternate.
Here I am.
We're always offering up our alternate services
I'm here
in
for
case
it.
you're interested. But yeah, so
stuff.
really, really awesome stuff.
Yeah, small was great.
Yep. But medium, hey, our
Love
friends over
medium.
at Spirit of Texas brought it home. Royalty in the medium co-ed division.
God, they're
Yeah.
so good.
They are. And in the beginning, so day 1, we had Woodlands Elite, Black Ops, Beatles, and Spirit of Texas in the top 3 spots, and all of those guys hit 0. This is like you always say, isn't it you that's always gushing about medium? I think you
Yes,
started
medium
that
co-ed.
wave.
Yes, we're obsessed.
Medium
We
co-ed.
are-
Because they don't see each other all year
Yes.
long. This
Yeah.
is the
This division is going to be like the one to watch this year. Medium co-ed, I say it before and I will say it again,
Yeah.
is so awesome. I went to Royalty Showcase, their show off
Show
before
off,
NCA.
yeah, same thing.
And the kids on there too, like they're
Yeah, they're
just
good.
they're
Yeah.
vibing.
They're
like
good.
I got to spend some time with them this weekend too.
Yeah.
They had a more, I don't know how to word it. It was such a different dynamic than I'm used to, and I loved it. Like, they love each other, and you
Yeah.
can tell that they are such a tight-knit group. They were singing before they went on, and just like all smiles, no
Yep.
nerves. They were confident, and they were awesome.
They had one of the most beautiful zeros of the weekend.
Yes.
Yep.
Like, I am just really obsessed with them after hanging out with them and seeing them lately. Like, I really saw them at Cheer Sport and at NCA, and then seeing them in the show off. Like,
Yep.
that pyramid where they like changed the levels,
Yes.
put it in a GIF and loop it because I am obsessed.
And like you said, their day 1 was a 0,
Yep.
beautiful, perfect. Day 2, they did have a little bit of a deduction, 0.75, but they held it. Like, they
Yeah.
still stayed in first.
Yep.
And the way it fell, Royalty first, second for Rain, and then third for Beatles. So this one's going to be tight all year, but Royalty has been really consistent.
Yes.
We saw them at Encore. They got their bid early on. Cheer Sport, they took it like.
but
I don't want to make any early predictions.
I
but
want to
like,
point
just
something
saying.
out. Now that you say that, the top 3
Yep.
were also who we saw at majors.
Yeah.
And Rain was on top of, that was their day. So,
That's
So,
true.
I
And
just
then
wanna
Rain's adding upgrades. I know.
I don't know.
I just get really excited. I don't know. You're right.
I'm
It's
just
at the end of the
saying.
day, it's all about
It's,
peaking at the right time. It's about hitting. It's about having a good weekend and everything. So it's always anybody's game. That is the one truth about this sport. You can predict everything. Somebody can have a solid year. We saw it at Worlds last year. You know,
teams that we saw hit consistently
Yes.
all year long. That
Just-
wasn't.
Well, and I think, I'm not positive about this, but I'm pretty sure that Royalty and Spirit of Texas, the level 5 teams, don't have another competition until Worlds.
Nope.
right.
I'm
You
pretty
are
sure.
correct.
Yes,
I don't think
you
they
are.
have anything else.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that
I
plays
know.
into this.
It's like it could be a good thing in the fact that like you're in the
They're
gym
taking a
grinding
break.
it out.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you can just get back
Yep.
to like what you do, or
you could
does
forget
have,
what it feels like to perform.
Right.
You know, it could go either way. But I think that that's something interesting going
is.
into.
I don't think
the end of
Royalty's
the
going to
season.
lose that performance factor
I don't
because
think so
that is
either.
one thing that just blew me away.
Yeah, yeah.
They are performers.
They have confidence.
I love their music too.
They own Texas.
Yes.
And, I actually really talked to them about that. And they're like, we're so proud. We have the spirit of Texas. And their musicality really let that show this year.
That's fun.
Super fun.
So that's medium co-ed for you. And one more thing, I don't know if we mentioned this, but that was the first time that they'd won since 2014.
Yes.
So that was a really big deal.
Yeah.
And, that's right in their backyard. So good for them. So for senior medium all-girl, kind of a different story for our ladies from Spirit of Texas A team.
I know, that was a bummer.
It was. So day one, Lady Jags was in first, second ECE, and Lady Jags they've been looking really good all year long.
Consistent.
So yeah, they absolutely have been. And A team was in sixth, which is it's so interesting because at Cheer Sport 1 week ago, A team did a really great job at Cheer Sport on day two, and they took Cheer Sport home over Lady Jags. So that's interesting.
Medium all-girl, I think, is going to be one of those that shifts a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so, too. Because, even in the end, on day two, ECE Bombshells, they got their first ever win at NCA. So that's how that division shook down in the end. On day two, ECE Bombshells in first. Second place was Fame Super Seniors. Third, Top Gun Lady Jags. And then fourth, A-Team. So they jumped from sixth to fourth, which is good. Great. And a really strong performance on day two. I think they had one stunt issue, but
it's always about, like, if something doesn't go well on day one, what do you do on day two? How do you respond? And to me, I think they responded, and they continue to chip away and kind of figure out what's not working and make those changes and keep going. So
yeah, I felt like ECE did the same thing too. I mean, they were sitting in second going in, and they ended up on top because they had a few little hiccups on day one, and then they just came out. And
everyone's been talking about ECA.
Well, and
nobody had really seen them. A lot of the coaches in medium were like, ECE is going to come in here. They're world champs from last year. They stay up north.
And this isn't me just saying that, being the Northeasterner that I am. I was talking to their coaches, and that was one thing I said. I'm like, no one sees you all year. Even last year, we saw them at NCA, then we saw them at Spirit Sports and Worlds, and that was it. She's like, we just kind of stay up there. It's a lot for them to travel.
Yeah, of course.
Just from coming from so far. But I could definitely see them repeating. I don't know
for
about
sure.
You guys.
There is something about winning Worlds, even if it's not the same team. Teams always change a little bit every year, but like there's something about winning Worlds. It does something for that culture and that everything else.
And got to watch out for that score sheet change. So
I'm going to get to that.
We'll see what happens. The whole the score sheet's different. So we'll see.
My heart is not ready yet, guys. It's too early.
So many emotions.
Also, I just want to shout out to Fame Super Seniors because I still love that basket and like getting second at NCA. Yes, it's like awesome. People. It's underappreciated. I'm just here to like shout out all the things that are underappreciated. And getting second in that division is a huge accomplishment. So
absolutely.
Yep.
It's a big one.
Just wanted to call that out.
So large. I can't even.
I love large.
Well, so co-ed. Well, actually, it was a large sweep of cheer athletics.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Going to talk about co-ed first, and it's funny that you brought up the score sheet because that's something that I was really thinking about as I was thinking about large co-eds specifically.
Yeah.
Cheetahs came out and just attacked their performances. They had a 0 deduction routine on day 2. They did a deduction on day 1, but they came out on top, made their changes. They're just having a great season.
Really great season. They look good. They hit like. It's so super clean what they're doing.
And they've upgraded from Cheer Alliance. I mean, we saw them, they added in the extra inversion after Cheer Alliance, seeing where they were sitting with difficulty of stunts. And they jumped like about 1.5 points from day 1 to day 2 at NCA, which is
a lot. That you say that, Cheer Athletics is one of those programs that they do a lot of upgrades throughout the season. Some people stay real consistent because their kids like to stay consistent.
Yeah. They also started early. I mean, that was the first showcase we went to in October.
It was October,
and there were still some in December.
We're seeing the full evolution.
It's incredible. Honestly, how good they started in October and the way they continue to make upgrades and then execute on those upgrades. Super impressive.
Yeah, I agree. And then, of course, in second was TGLC, who always blows us away. They were such a crowd favorite. They didn't hit 0 all weekend. They had some hiccups, unfortunately, both days, but I think that we're going to see them score really well on the world score sheet. I think that's going
so
to,
too.
this division, I think, is going to be the most affected by that score sheet change. Because we've only seen them on.
And we've seen them kind of struggle a little bit this year at some of the competitions. They're doing great, but they look a little different. So I think this is kind of lighting a fire under their butts. Whenever they get to Worlds, I think they're going to
turn it on.
And you know what's interesting too? It's kind of the opposite.
They do.
Oh my gosh.
It's the opposite of last year. Last year we saw them hit all season, and unfortunately,
this could be a good sign.
Worlds wasn't their weekend. So I hope that this year for them it reverses. Worlds is their time to shine.
Yeah.
I do think that the way that the routine is structured and their difficulty and their out of the box creativity,
it is like chills. It is so good. They might be unbeatable if they hit.
I completely agree, especially with that score sheet change. I'm excited to see. And then in third was our reigning world champions, Stingrays Steel.
You must have left the chickens at home.
I did see the chickens in warm-ups. I will tell you that.
I like the chickens.
Unfortunately,
didn't know if they could fly here. I don't know.
They had some deductions on both days. We saw them at Cheer Sport the week before, and they actually took home the title at Cheer Sport, which was awesome. Great. You know, so we can see them hit. We've seen them do it before. There's no doubt they can't do it again. I still think that they are a top contender to go back-to-back for Worlds.
Yep. Stingray has such a good, like, clean technique and everything. So I love watching them.
And I think that this year their choreography is a lot more out of the box than normal. I don't think they played it safe.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Especially their pyramid.
Oh my gosh.
So cool. That part
I'm
where
so
it's
glad
like,
you brought that up.
Like, it reminds me of doing an airplane like we used to play when we were little, you know what I mean? And it kicked them right back up.
I actually need to sit down and just kind of watch that pyramid and like really digest it because it's like there's so many visual elements and these swings and everything.
Yeah, there's a swing early on and then it's like the part I'm talking about. Where
God, that's one of the biggest trends this year is the different ways you
a lot
can
of
do
people
the
are
swing.
swinging.
I mean, Top Gun has a really cool, crazy swing.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Oh yeah,
yes, with that girl.
Everybody, they're getting so creative with it. You know, like,
I'm obsessed with it. It's super visual, and I love that all these teams are incorporating it. But yeah, that is so.
I have to say, I think that their pyramid might be my favorite of the season.
I agree.
I
agree.
Really good.
And this is a great transition because their pyramid is really my next favorite pyramid is Senior Elite, I think.
You're right. But I
know.
On top, first we're going to recognize, of course, the Panthers. You know, on the way there, I had a feeling. We were on our way to Dallas, and I said to Lindsay, I was like, I think this is going to be Panthers weekend. I just had this feeling. And then I saw them hit on day one, and I was like, yep.
They
gonna be their weekend.
Looked so good.
They went out there fearless. Like, they are so confident in their skills. That was just, you took the words right out of my mouth.
They owned it. Like, they performed every moment of that, and the hit looked effortless. You know, I think that they are really hitting their stride.
Yeah, and they're a really strong unit. So after they walked off the floor on day 2, you know, they were in the lead, but Brad and the coaches, John, you know, they were addressing the team, and they were talking about kind of like how they were a unit and how confident they were. And Brad actually got really emotional and choked up, which is funny because, you know, he's been coaching these teams and this level of a team for so long, but he just could see how confident they were in what they were doing. So it was really cool to watch him like address that with them and kind of tell them that. And he basically said, it does not matter what placement you fall in, which, you know, a lot of coaches do say this. It does not matter what placement you fall in. I am proud of what you did. You did everything that you came here to do. And it was just really cool to kind of watch him talk about that. And it was kind of funny because they even followed it up with, you know, on social media after this is over, no matter what, you know, you be supportive of everybody. So I just wanted to throw that out there. If coaches aren't telling their kids about sportsmanship online and off the mat, you know, like that was really cool to see.
That is so important. You know,
you know, I actually, now that you say that, I remember last year hearing the California Black Ops coaches telling their kids the same exact thing. That's be humble and no matter what happens.
Right.
And, you know, kind of piggybacking off of that, I'm not done talking about Panthers for the record.
Right? Yeah, no, I was like, me neither. We need to talk about
you know,
this.
I was going to bring this up, but this is kind of a good segue. I think, you know, there's 5 teams in this division that we see constantly being at top 5,
right?
You know,
right.
So as the awards were going and teams are kind of moving off the stage, those 5 stuck around to cheer each other on, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was Panthers, it was Senior Elite, F5,
Orange.
Shooting Stars and Orange, and the best part is they all do each other's cheers and the
Yeah.
hand movements
Yeah.
and stuff, and
Yep.
the 5 of them, it was really cool, and that was like just, I think, a really powerful.
And NCA does a great job because the winners circle time. Like when it's time for those 3 teams
Yep.
to stay out there, they have the coaches come out, shake hands,
Yep.
and
Oh, they were all
speak to- Yeah.
hugging.
So
That
Oh,
division,
yeah, and a
did you
couple
see that?
Such a
divisions,
great thing.
what Reign and Royalty made one big circle in the middle.
I love that.
And there was another division did it too. I can't even remember now, but that was so awesome, and I just kind of love that that sportsmanship is so emphasized by so many of these coaches.
And with how many negative things we all do see on social media, I have to say, I think that we see this year especially a lot of positive things of all these teams kind of coming together and becoming friends. And apparently there's like a ton of group chats of each division.
Yeah.
There's like
That's so
80
cool.
kids and Snapchat groups.
I think you were saying some of the parents went bowling from like
F5
F5
and World
Stars.
Cup, Shooting Stars. Yeah, they went bowling.
Yeah. Oh, I wish we
yeah.
had that
Cool.
photo. It was really funny. They had a trophy that they gave
So
them like
funny.
for the winning parent group.
Right.
I'm
That's,
like,
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really fun. But
Very cool. So yeah, so
Sorry.
anyways,
Oh my
Back to
gosh,
large
wait.
back to
girl.
I have something else.
99.13.
I know.
We have not said it. That Panthers
She didn't
got
let me say it yet.
99.
They were the grand champions. But you know what I was thinking
Highest score of
too?
the competition.
We
Sorry.
when we saw them in October, you and I said like we were
Oh.
blown away, but they were a different Panthers team than we had
Yeah.
seen. They were not the team we saw at World. They had this presence to them, and since then we've seen that presence continue on.
Yes.
You know, Majors wasn't their day. They had a hiccup there. Cheer Lines, they had the presence, but this weekend even more than. But we saw it so early in October.
Yes, I knew it, right? Like, you know when you see it and you're like, this is going to be something, just like the new look, the athletic braids, and they kind of are going with this like really kind of toned down like makeup, like just really athletic look, and it's just like they are here to play no games.
They are
And
focused.
you could taste it like
Hungry.
in the air. It's fun. It's like honestly cheerleading at its best.
And their elite sequence is so out of the box. And I mean, that little jump over that they do is so cool. Yeah, I was blown away. Congratulations, Panthers. They were incredible. And then Senior Elite also hit both days. So both Panthers and Senior Elite hit 2 zero deduction routines.
That's makes
Which
me
is
so
huge.
happy.
And I think Senior Elite, I've been saying this for a few weeks now. I think this is like the 3rd time I've said it on this podcast. They're getting so consistent.
Yes.
Since like Christmas break, I remember
They're
seeing
looking
some stuff.
like really clean. Like everything
Yeah.
they're doing is really well executed, and like it's just
You can tell they're really focusing on the
Yes.
execution,
Yes.
and it is showing. They won
every
cheer
element
sport
is
last
really
weekend.
well done. Yep.
They have confidence.
And
so,
I still am really obsessed with that little bow and arrow like transition thing that they do. I don't even know what to call that when
In
they
the
like bow and
pyramid.
arrow
It's
down,
really cool.
and then they flip all the way back around. It's so visual, and I'm obsessed with it. And yeah,
I'm excited to see where they upgrade.
Yeah, right? I know. And I think now they're kind of at the point, at least every time we see them on the competition floor, they're hitting so well and so strong. There definitely is some opportunities to upgrade. So yeah, I can't wait to see kind of what comes out of that.
Yeah, it's nice seeing them hit so much this season.
Yeah.
I think that they know
It
that
is.
they can do it. So.
I feel like last year too, like I just was always like waiting for something a little more from them, and this year it's like, yes, you're doing it. Living.
Yeah, they looked awesome.
They look great.
And then Maryland Twisters F5 placed 3rd. They took a big jump from day 1 to day 2, and they ended up scoring a 98-13, which is great for them. That was a really good score. They hit on day 2. They really added a lot of upgrades. They added another little pyramid section in.
Yep.
Their entire opening had so much more tumbling than we had seen before.
I was gonna say I really thought that. I hadn't gone back and like watched, but I was like, this seems.
Well, they set up. They didn't do it on day 1 or on day 2. It was different on day 1. They set up differently, and I was like asking the coaches, I'm like, is something different happening? They're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we added a lot more standing tumbling in there. I was like blown away when they started that. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Their tumbling is really good this year. I think that's definitely one of their strongest suits, and they're continuing to upgrade, and it's been really neat seeing the evolution of their routine just because I saw it so early at their showcase. And they actually won the best choreography in that division.
Not a shock. I was
I know.
literally just about to say.
I would think I was standing next to you as they announced it.
Yeah.
I think I was like,
I was like,
F5.
duh. Like, yeah, it's of course it's F5. Like, their routine continues to be one of the most entertaining. It's so unique, and I
They're
just
performing
love
it.
their theme.
They're owning it. It's
The
cool.
element is tied in so many different like ways that really have a big impact. And yeah, that is forever the most entertaining.
And I think something that speaks a lot for itself, one of my friends said this to me, like, when I saw F5's routine, I got it right away.
Yep.
I saw all of the baseball things that they put in there, which is really cool.
Yep, yeah, because sometimes there's themes and it's like you have to watch it and then you're like, oh, wait, okay,
Let me
I
watch
get
it
it. There's
again.
a theme.
Yeah.
Let me listen to the music. Yeah, and you kind of put the pieces together, but this, it's like.
They went all in.
Oh, yeah.
And they added the baseball cap at the end.
Oh,
I don't know
my
if you guys saw
God.
that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, in the
Center
dance.
dancer.
They did a little pass. There's two girls that wore it. It was cool.
One girl wears it and then at the very end she like
passes
sits.
it over.
So cute.
Yeah.
Really obsessed. I love props.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
We won't see them again until Worlds.
Oh, that makes me, all these teams that we won't see again, it like makes me
know.
sad
Y'all
and
wanna call 'em
nervous.
and FaceTime?
Yeah. Into their practices.
Yeah. Let me watch.
Hello, FloCheer calling.
Ring, ring, ring.
Perfect. Okay, we'll work on that.
And
Bring you that later.
so Lars was incredible, obviously. I actually got to spend a lot of time with the international divisions, which is amazing as always. There was such a big representation from different countries. Canada was really well represented.
Oh, yeah?
I finally got to see the Spice Girls routine in
Hey.
person.
Oh, that was cool.
It was so cool, and you know, I did get to catch up with their coaches and meet them this weekend, and
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it, and I guess I hadn't seen the routine yet. You can't use the Spice Girls music with all the music rules, so they had to go even more out of the box and be creative with it, and I think that they absolutely executed it.
Yeah.
They have each Spice Girl appearing one by one as it's going on, and they have a lot of cool voiceovers in it that really add that touch too.
Yeah.
So that was amazing.
I liked their outfits.
I know, right?
I didn't. You talked about them having their own little thing, but it really actually did stand out when you watched it. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah,
It
they
was
switched
fun.
their skirts, they pulled it over. It was cool. And then Cheersport Great White Sharks blew
Always.
everyone away. The arena was screaming with fans, and
Oh my gosh.
well deserved. They did amazing. I'm still obsessed with their entry to their elite.
Yes.
The whip to
Yep.
pro. It was really cool to see in
I know.
person.
I was just about to say the same thing. Seeing it in person is like, whoa.
Yeah, Worlds is going to be a show. I mean, they're doing really well.
Oh my God.
They looked awesome.
Really.
Oh my
Awesome. Wildcats, did you guys get to see them? They won the International Open Large Co-Ed 5 division.
Yes.
They looked great. And again, that was another team that we saw really early in the season. I saw a lot of change from them, from what we had seen early on in October to now. They looked really good.
I am just really kind of obsessed with that team and that whole routine. It's so fun to watch. I love the international divisions.
Oh man.
I keep saying that about every division.
I'm just
but
realizing we had a clip for that one.
Oh.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Shout out.
We'll get them next time.
We'll get you next time.
Don't
you
worry
know
about
who I'm
it.
talking
Yes,
about.
you know who you are, and we have the clip, and we are going to play it.
Now everybody's like, what's the clip?
Who is it?
Next week.
This is what happened on The Bachelor
You're
this
just
week.
going to have to
Yeah.
wait.
I'm not kidding.
Kind of.
No, this is literally
Kind
what
of.
happened.
And guys, I don't want to go ahead. Do you have more over there? What you
Yes.
got?
We have still a few more international divisions.
Oh, okay.
Electric, we saw them 2 weeks in a row. And
Yeah, Stingrays.
One
they
cheer sport,
looked awesome.
one NCA. Awesome.
They looked really good. They're very on right now, and I think that we might see really big things from them at Worlds.
100%.
Oh, yeah. Claw 6 was the international large co-ed 6 team. They're always so incredible.
That
Yeah, they
basket
always
is
look
so
great.
fun.
They had that bird front basket, and then just all of their baskets in general. They have a lot of really good level 6 skills, and that
Level
team is
6 is
filled
so
with talent.
fun.
And it's fun.
I
The
know.
kids love to watch level 6.
Yes,
It's
wild.
It's crazy
Yeah.
because they're flipping baskets and
Yeah.
doing
You don't see it
high fives,
often.
and it's a lot of the coaches.
I know.
So the kids are in the audience like, yes, that's my coach. Yeah.
That's funny. That's a really good point. You're right. Actually,
excited.
no, it's true. One of my favorite level 6 teams of the weekend was 6-6 from Top Gun.
Yep.
Their elite sequence is so incredible. We saw it on social media. It was so
Yes.
cool to see it in person. They spin down to the rewind right to a straddle, and then they invert rewind that right back up to the top, which I was like watching and I'm like, how do you do that? I can't imagine doing the rewind from the very bottom, like from the floor, and they
Easy.
all caught at the top.
Oh, God.
Yes, seriously though. 6'6" officially got their bid, so we will see them at Worlds, and I'm really excited. I think they're making a name for themselves, and
oh my gosh,
we're going to see really big things from them.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
well,
agree completely.
Guys, another hot division. Are you ready? Oh man, hold on one second. I'm so bad at doing this sometimes. Oh man. Oh,
how'd I know?
Itty bitty kitties.
Oh my gosh, look at these guys. It's oh, you know who this is. You know you can't watch the clip, but Itty Bitty Kitties.
Yes.
They took home NCA jackets.
They're wearing black jackets.
Yes, Itty Bitty Kitties, you go girls. And I have an announcement to make, guys, and well, it's a good announcement for the Itty Bitty Kitties because I would like to announce that they are taking home the This or That Cat Grand Championship.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is big news. I hope everybody
Grand
stayed on
champions.
for this because This or That Cat, the segment where every week we voted on this cat or that cat, we have found a team that is unbeatable, and it is the Itty Bitty Kitties. And not only do they deserve their NCA win this weekend, but they also deserve the This or That Grand Championships. So I don't know.
They worked hard for it.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you that big of a trophy. But
Oh yeah. I don't know that it'll rival NCA.
yeah, I'm not
trophy.
really sure it's going to be that large, but we're definitely going to be sending you something soon. And you know, the closest that we ever got to bringing the Itty Bitty Kitties down was UK, and that was, you know, they still didn't do it. It was 53% to 47% on the vote. So
Well, they're both national champions.
they are.
Yeah.
They are.
This
And you know
weekend.
what? Yeah, just congrats, Itty Bitty Kitties. We love you
So much.
so much, and thank
so
you
much.
so much for being a part of our show because it's been so exciting. The highlight of my part of the show. I know. Now we're gonna have another segment next week, and it's we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a surprise.
Oh, well, speaking of shout outs and saying hi and all of our favorites, I just want to say hi to some people watching at home right now. British Cheer Dad is back in cold and snowy London.
Oh,
It was great seeing you this weekend.
Yeah, it was great to see you too, and he thanked us for all the great coverage, so we want to say hi. And we also want to say hi to Amy and Chris.
Hey,
Ricky
guys.
is giving a shout out to Rolling Stones. Oh my gosh, Captain Python, who we met at Cheer Sport.
Captain Python.
He said hi. He was like one of the most spirited cheer dads. He has like a cape and
Oh my gosh.
chants
All the
and-
energy.
Yes, very much.
That was great.
Chris Baylor says, we love FloCheer. We love you too. Brooke gave us some hard eyes. Hi, Brooke. But yeah, and Shannon, Tegan says thank you. That's so sweet. Hi, Tegan.
We love you.
We do. And yeah, so congratulations to Itty Bitty Kitties. And thank you to everybody who watches and tunes in, comment. We'll always talk to you if you got questions. We'll answer them. So, yeah.
We'll be bringing you more news. For now, I think that's all we've got time for today, but
Yes.
we'll miss you. We'll be seeing you soon. We've got IASC, UCA All-Star coming up, USA All-Star coming up that we're going to be on site for.
Yes. There's
Lots
still
more
lots
bids
more ahead.
out there to grab, and we're going to be bringing back the Top of the World show with more information. So we'll miss y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.